Dom, thanks. The investigation's completed into the fatal officer-involved shooting in Springfield less than 2 months ago. And now we have the state police body cam footage showing the moments that led up to that deadly shooting of a Hartford, Connecticut man. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell joins us live with more. Kristen?
Chris, the Hampden District Attorney's Office released that body cam footage earlier today, and their investigation has determined that the use of force was justified. Now, we want to warn you, the video you might be about to watch might be difficult for some of you to watch. Newly released body camera footage from the Hampden District Attorney's Office on Friday reveals further details surrounding an officer-involved shooting that happened on February 25th in Springfield, resulting in the death of William Tisdale from Hartford, Connecticut.
City cameras and body-worn camera footage clearly and conclusively show that Mr. Tisdale fired his weapon first.
Hampden District Attorney Anthony Gallooni announcing he's determined that the use of force was justified. He also released this surveillance video from MGM Springfield from the early morning hours showing where the incident first unfolded.
Troopers responded to an altercation on the MGM gaming floor where they learned Mr. Tisdale had indicated that he was in the possession of a firearm and had threatened to shoot another patron.
Following that argument, security is seen on the video separating the two men, and Tisdale went to the restroom. State troopers then went to approach Tisdale as he exited the hotel lobby on Main Street and began walking towards the Union and Main Street intersection. Police then began a chase on foot, seen here in this video. District Attorney Gallooni sharing what took place after that.
Trooper Cusack's body-worn camera shows that he is armed only with his taser as Mr. Tisdale turns and fires at him. It took seconds for Trooper Cusack to exchange his taser for his firearm in order to return fire at Mr. Tisdale.
This body-worn camera footage shows Tisdale turning to Trooper Cusack and firing at him as Trooper Cusack pointed his taser at him. Trooper Santos then fired at Tisdale. Attorney Gallooni explained further why the use of force was justified.
The act of Mr. Tisdale pointing a firearm at Trooper Cusack constitutes a felony offense of assault with a dangerous weapon under Massachusetts law.
Tisdale's family spoke out in Springfield 2 weeks ago, demanding for answers on the death of their loved one. Attorney Gallooni tells Western Mass News he showed the body camera footage to them on Friday morning.
I can say that it was productive, it was calm, it was respectful, and it ended with pleasant exchanges. And my condolences.
Attorney Gallooni also shared that he had productive conversations about the released body cam footage with community leaders earlier today in Springfield. Reporting live in studio, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.